Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Indian Racing League. This is round 7 of 11, and we are at the Circuit of Americas, as known as COTA in USA, Austin, Texas. With me in the comms box once again is Easy Level Bot or Gaurav. Gaurav, how are you doing tonight? Gaurav, we can't hear you just yet, so we'll wait until you're audible for everyone on the stream. Meanwhile, let me just quickly set everything up on the screen and at the same time ensure that I share the link of this video with everyone on the server so that people don't miss out all the live action which is going on in our River Division Season 6. As you said, it's been a long time since the league started, and tonight a historic record might just be broken. So we'll keep an eye out on that, and as we see, there are a few drivers already on their outlaps. Azun is on a outlap, which is an intermediate set of tires, and I don't think he'll be setting his time anyway. So expect him to come back in, and this is just something which he likes to do. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Azun, that Mercedes of his having a good season, won the season opener in Russia after an incident between the top two of VFX and Notsumer, and is still P4 in the championship, is behind Hushrav, Notsumer and VFX. Let's see who's also in the lap. I think Quick Killer is the first one out of the pits, so he has been the first one, or he will be the first one to set a hot lap in. And let me quickly see where Gaurav is. I just can't hear him
I'm
at
there.
all.
I was waiting for you to finish your train of thought.
All right,
Good
Gaurav.
evening,
How are
good
you
morning,
doing?
good afternoon, everyone. I'm doing very well, my love. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm absolutely fine. And yes, Kota, what are your thoughts about this track? I think you finished P9 here yesterday, so probably not the best of the races for you. But especially in wet conditions, how did the track feel like?
It was pretty much very interesting race. Actually, this for me, this is the least favorite of my track in terms of the S's. Though I like the S's, but the last sector is something that I really hate on this track, and I spun as well. I think I spun this season and last season as well. That is a dreaded part of the track for me. But otherwise, overall, a good race, mixed conditions. Everyone was keeping it clean, very careful, and it was really nice to see no safety cars. So I was there was a time when I was really hoping for one, but was questioning my strategy as well sometimes. But it just went out that how it was supposed to. So yeah, a race to forget for me.
Yeah, indeed, but you still scored points that race, so not everything is ruined, Gaurav. But
Yep.
Sid Venkatesh from D2 is reserving with us tonight in Division 1. And last time he made it through first corner and then he was tagged by someone, had some, I think not some, but very significant damage to his side pods and his race was compromised. This time around, Gaurav, he has crashed out just at the exit of the first corner, so that turn, for some reason or other, is turning to be very fateful for him, and he'll have to then do the hard work all over again in the race. So let's see how he does. We'll be starting from the back with the likes of Racing Gupta and Azun. Racing Gupta has a qualifying ban. Azun gives himself a qualifying ban, but here we go. Quick Killer, the first person to set across the line, the 33.0 on a set of soft tires. Let's see who else is finishing. I see, is that VFix starting a lap? Yeah, VFix is starting a lap just behind him, and let's pick up someone who has already started a lap. Epic Brothers goes provisional pole with 32.9 on mediums, so he's quick out of the block straight away, Epic Brothers, and has been so in qualifying all season, Gaurav.
Yep, he's got tremendous pace and has always been challenging the front runners. Just had a few unfortunate series of incidents here and there every race, so probably he just needs to hold himself to get himself a good result this time around.
Absolutely
A lot of
spectating
drivers I
Nishan
can
right
see
now.
on the medium.
Yeah,
Okay.
is there anyone in the third sector, Gaurav? I think McLaren is just crossing the line. I think that's Kavudi who has just started a lap. Uh, I
Jin is on
see
a.
Jin. Yeah, correct. Jin is through the triple right-hander now, and where the infamous Verstopper curve was installed after he overtook Hamilton,
Oh,
I believe.
and he
Oh, and Jin has
invalidates the
invalidated.
lap in the second last. Oh, hard luck for Jim. Wanted to get into the pits, but had to back out, and now he'll have to go around on one whole lap because otherwise he would have just hit the pit wall.
Yeah, unfortunate for Jin. I'm not sure if he has enough time to go for another run, but I think that has been compromised. Quick Killer
And Quick
goes fastest
Killer
on the
on
same
another.
set of tires.
Yep,
So he has gone,
probably
and
on a
HOP
consecutive
now
run.
across the line, and he goes provisional pole with a 32.7. I'm expecting low 32s for pole. Does that sound fair, Gaurav, or can we see some in the 131s as well?
Yep, I would look at a low 132s. 131 would just be super mega from these drivers, but yeah, you can never underestimate them. Just one person just put in a stonker of a lap, especially in qualifying with their full throttle. Especially, and Quick Killer retires from the session.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, it's at the exit of
And
the S's, I think.
yeah, quicker return. And Noobshan had a very weird line. He came into the pits, then he went out. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Is he impeding URL Ethan here? No, Ethan is out lap, so Nishan is fine. And let's try to pick up someone else. Is VFX going for another run? Oh, no, I think he's coming back in. Kavudi is also invalidated. So it seems like right now. Oh, what about that, Kavudi? Okay, he's letting people through. But yeah, that was very scary from the McLaren in the reserve.
Okay, Noobshan and Ethan, I don't know why are they racing each other here. Okay, they're just giving us a taste of what the race is going to be like, or I'm not very sure. But these guys are racing each other. Just very
Yeah, I'm seeing that
rare to
right
see,
now.
especially during qualifying.
And I think there will be a point where Ethan will have to back out, because it's not going to help his preparation as far as his hot lap is concerned. Yeah, there he goes. There
And
he
he
backs out. I think there's
does.
another car behind him, which is that Alfa
Oh,
Romeo. Who was that? Was it Epic Brothers? No, it was not.
that was Basil. That was
And
Basil,
Ethan,
and
there
he
you
gets a
go. He
five.
gets a 5th place grid penalty for that. That has
Not
been
sure what
very, very
happened there.
unfortunate set of events for him.
Yep, and he would not be really happy with how that lap panned out. And there's a McLaren of Kavodi that spun at the double right-handers. Oh, probably the McLarens, and the spin in that corner is something to be very off for this on this race.
Yep, and he's coming back in. So it's been a very, very hectic first half of the qualifying, I must say, Gaurav. I don't think we have had so many incidents, so to call, in qualifying, this far in the season. But seems like it's a very, very eventful first 9-10 minutes. And Ethan has just gone purple in the first sector. So let's see what he can do. He has a 5 place grid penalty now, and unless we restart the lobby, and even then it will be difficult to remove that in the short span of time. So he will at least start from P6 or lower. Let's see what he can do. He seems to be on a lap which is good for now, and let's see how he takes the rest of the half of the lap.
Critical for him to get a good. He needs to be there in the front couple of rows so that grid penalty doesn't affect him a lot. And meanwhile, setting purple sector is also out.
Yes, he is, and he has a couple of cars ahead of him. Let's hope that they clear out of the way pretty soon. It's not getting impeded right now.
The Haas is also on. Is that the Haas of Thinking name?
Yes, it is.
That's on a hot lap. Oh, and he's
back in now. But I don't think that was any problem with the kind of action which it took. And across the line goes Ethan with a 32.5. That's more like it. Now you want to go on board with TBK. TBK is in the third sector, so in just a few seconds He'll be on his hot lap, Gaurav, and maybe you can take us through this lap while we're running on board with Aston Martin.
Right, just warming his tires and setting himself up to. Here, another tricky part of the corner needs to not invalidate and just avoid the apex so that there's no room for invalidation here. Goes absolutely wide, takes the width of the track. I think he'll maximize the length of the track to get an early entry into the apex. Hits the apex beautifully at turn 1 and another low traction zone. Just loses a bit of it but has the car under control. Very important you have the maximum grip from here and he invalidates his
He has, but look at PSI Legends. 31.8, Gaurav. We were thinking whether 38s, 31s was possible. And there you go, 131.8, and Shadow Sword has gone purple in the second sector, 8 tenths clear of his first hot lap. Let's see what he can do. VFix has also started his hot lap, so let's see what he can do. PSL Legends, I remember season 4, he got a podium here in USA, so definitely one of his stronger tracks it looks like. And let's see what Shadow Sword can do as he rounds off the final corner now. And across the line he goes for provisional pole. Look at that, 131.8. So a lot of drivers.
Madhav, I take all my words back. Whatever I said, these drivers are just probably that
Sandbagging?
just says the lack of sweat and practice that I put on on this track. That these guys are putting 131.8 here. Great sight to see.
Absolutely. Mayfix is in the middle of the lap. Is he getting a slipstream from someone? No, he's not really. But let's hope they are out of the way. Yes, they are. PSL Legends, his teammate. I'm not really sure if that helped VFix. If it did, probably not by enough, as much as he would have hoped for, as Caesar just said Division 2 pole last night was 31.9, so I expect mid to low 31s for sure. Let's see what VFix is up to, as Aston Martin, I think, of Tanishq goes across the line once again, and he has gone for another run. VFix, let's see what he does. Yet to have a time on the board, and just one more corner to navigate before he sees the start finish. Straight, he has invalidated in the last corner there. It was 31.5, you can see on the top right. It was supposed to be a 31.5.
Now and get a good, yeah, and he had a purple middle sector, so he was really poised to set go for the front row.
Yeah, that is
there. And a 31.5. Oh, whoa. Great laps.
Thinking Ned was also on a hot lap, but he has invalidated as well. Let's try to pick up someone who's on a hot lap. Is VFix going for another one? Let me just check. No, he has invalidated this one as well, VFX. Maybe in the SS?
Looks like, is he on a hot lap? He just started his lap.
I think he might have just started one, yes, you're right.
Just going through the S's here, taking the curve. Oh, right, they just probably wanted to carry a little less ounce of speed there. Oh, and he invalidates. USA is turning to be really tricky for all the drivers here. I mean, as much as now there'll be a lot of sweat on the nerves of SSN because time is just running against him. Though at P10 he won't be too not very unsatisfied with the lap time. He's probably can strategize how he wants to go through the race. But P10 wouldn't really be the ideal of the starting position. Rather, a P11 would rather be a better one.
Absolutely, strategic pole. But I'm not sure. It's a weird position to start with. I remember starting P10 in a lot of races in season 3, and it was so annoying to be surrounded by softs and medium runners. And yeah, it's a weird
position. Just negotiate and invalidates in the final corner. Oh man, and that will invalidate his next lap as well. So half, like 7 drivers are but 7 out of them 4 have just retired.
Yeah, the sector 3 seems to be very difficult for people to navigate here, Gaurav, because I just saw Shah invalidate at the penultimate corner as well. So, and you saw a couple of people cutting the track on the final corner. So It's not really working out
Yep.
for them. The third sector, they're just taking a little bit too many liberties with the track, and that's not working out for them just
Hundreds
yet.
and tens, a lot of hundreds and tens can be found if you nail the apexes of this track, because the curbs aren't really they aren't really killer curbs here. There's a less chance for you to slip or spin if you ride the curve. So, but you can gain a lot of time if you ride the apex on point here. Meanwhile, SSN I think is going on another run, and I don't see anybody else.
I think URL Ethan is also on a lap, but HSN is further into his lap, so let's see where he finishes, or he qualifies rather. I think someone has gone faster there and all that. Uh, Maybe thinking there, I want to say, but I'm not
Yep,
100%
thinking
sure.
it. I just saw purple sector, but looks like he's now not. Yeah, he just put in his lap. Yeah, that's thinking it. Meanwhile, SSN just coming,
He's coming
or
back into the
coming into the
pits.
pits.
Right,
What
so
about
is Ethan
Cupid?
going to finish his lap? Yes, he is. And let's see what this lap time is. Is it? Well, he's faster by 6
But
tenths, but not
but still
enough to
doesn't
improve
improve
position.
on his position.
Kavudi has started his lap as well in the McLaren, so him and VFX, imagine drivers like Kavudi and VFX down in P18 and P19 with 1.5 minutes to go in the session, Gaurav. You don't really expect them there, but there they are, and Kavudi has
And
invalidated.
Cupid, oh,
Ah,
now he really needs to rush through. And now I'm just wondering about his tire wear and the battery that he'll have for the
here's
next,
Epic
because
Brothers
he
now. Epic
has
Brothers
to.
across the line. Goes P3 with a 31.8. Still no mid 31s. That's a little concerning. I'm assuming the likes of VFX can really push their car into that territory. And
Look at that, 15,000, so no, 200 separating the top three, and probably, yep. And Jin, oh, I failed to notice that Jin has put himself on the front row.
yes, he has, and he's just started a lap ahead of VFX. So a lot of people are on their final runs, I believe. Let me just HUP in all this.
And meanwhile, Shadow on provisional pole and further improving on his time by a tenth on down. He's entered in second sector. Now approaching the back straight.
Oh, Jin has lost it. Jin has lost it, and let's go on board with Shadow, and let's see what he can do. He's on the back straight, approaching the turn 10. It's a heavy braking zone. He has a car in front of him. As Ethan has retired, I think both the Alpha Tauris, I think, had a retirement on track, crashing out. And let's see what Shadow can do. But this is going to be a surprise pole position if Shadow can keep his advantage there. There's a car moving out of the way, and let's see what Shadow can do here.
Yep, just getting into the penultimate corner, rides the apex, and keeps it very clean on the line. Absolutely pushing it to the limit, and he
And he
improves
does
his
go
time by
faster by half a tenth there.
half a tenth.
Epic Brothers
Yep.
is in.
Oh, and HEP
HUP!
displaces Shadow and takes pole, provisional pole for now. Meanwhile, Jin is not.
I want to
Epic
see what
Brothers is
VFX
done.
does here.
Yes,
VFX is through the last corner just about now. He remains in fourth gear. And across the line he goes. Can he put it on pole? Yes, he does. With a 31.527. He had one shot at it. Well, he had more than one shot, but only the one which counted. And he's put it on pole along with his good friend HUP. So that is the front row for you. And what a lap from VFX right at the death and making it count where it mattered.
and I'm not sure if Tanish. No, he wasn't able to finish start. So I think that's more or less qualifying done for us. I just want to see what the weather is like.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I saw a few people trying to set their first a few lap times or hot laps on the mediums, but then everyone switched to softs. And
Okay, it's
It's
a dry
interesting, no
race.
one really tried a medium run. Maybe it's going to be a wet start to the race. We'll get to know
No, no, it
soon.
is. I just hacked into Sid stream, so
Right.
it looks like a dry start. But they did. I did see a few medium runners in the end. Epic Brothers also probably put his fastest first time on mediums. Meanwhile, Ethan, the loser of all, with that 5 days grid drop.
Yeah, he'll start P12. That will promote Tanishq and SSN up a place. But yeah, what a qualifying session that was. V Fix and HVP on the front row. Shadow Sword very strong qualifying. Him in P3, Jin in P4, Epic Brothers P5, PSI in P6. So it's a good starting position for both Ferraris. Alpha Tauri Ethan will drop down the order. Quick Killer in P8, Thinking Nate in P9, and Shah in P10. Those are the tires which will be locked. And for Tanishq, SSN, Basil, Noob Shan, Vicky, Azun, Racing Gupta, Sid Venkatesh, and Kavuri, everyone will have free tire choice. 19 drivers on this track at Kota, and should be a very interesting race.
Yep, completely. I mean, disregard. Everybody can give a complete disregard to what I said about the 31s. Yeah, there's no lack of pace again. But
Absolutely, and yeah, let's see what the race pace is going to be for these drivers. I'm sure they will be very closely matched, but it's overcast here, and it's not raining yet. But I would just for once, I would hope and expect some rain in Division One races. We haven't been really getting any rain or wet sessions in Division One, and let's hope tonight's the night, and we do indeed are graced by the rain gods.
yep, let's hope the forecast accuracy of approximate comes to our rescue. Gives some
Right.
last five lap action on the wets or interchangeable conditions. That'll be really fun to watch.
Yes, indeed, that will be fun to watch, and the drivers would be preparing their strategies, and we should be having the formation lap underway pretty soon. And we'll have a look at tire choices. There you go, tires in front of your screen. And as you can see, top 9 on those softs. Tanishq was promoted up a place along with assistant on the mediums. Basil, Vicky, Racing Gupta, and Sid Venkatesh opting for the soft at the start. They are in the bottom 10, but still opting for that strategy. And you can see more soft runners than medium runners, Gaurav. Does that surprise you?
Mediums are really a very slow tire in this track. There's a lot of lack of grip. So I Tanishq still went on the medium. So he prefers a hard tire. So definitely he'll go for the harder compound of the lot. You're settling with mediums, but yep, I'm not really surprised to see so many soft runners because probably 1.2 is the delta between the softs and mediums if I remember it correctly. But yeah, and especially in the start of the race when people are looking to gain as many positions as they can, the soft runners, it'd be interesting to keep an eye on Vicky Racing Gupta uh, because he would really look to take up a
Absolutely, the
few
likes of
positions.
Vicky and Racing Gupta, both reserves now. And I think we have seen Vicky back after a very long time in the familiar McLaren papaya orange colors, and he's driving without a helmet. I think that's a glitch because he joined the session a little bit late, and he's getting his tires up to temperature. Speaking about Tanishq, you mentioned that he's always starting on those harder compound, which he does, but it's important for him to finish this race as well. He has had 5 DNFs in a row, if I'm not wrong, Gaurav, and if he again crashes out tonight and fails to finish, he would be the sole holder of that record for most DNFs in quick succession. So I think his priority right now would be to finish the race rather than get positions off the start. But as Tanish, we know, we have seen him throughout the season. He is quite aggressive, but at the same time quite respectful as well for the most part. So expect him to put up a fight to the drivers ahead of him.
Yep, probably needs to just find the balance of aggression and composure and see himself through to the checkered flag.
Yep, absolutely. So the formation lap is more or less done, and in just a few seconds we will see the lights coming on to the screen in front of the drivers, and then we can go racing for the next 28 laps in Kota.
Right, engine's whirring.
There you go, 5 lights on the screen, lights out, and we're underway. It's a great start from HUP, not so good from VFix, and VFix is gonna get overtaken. Can any other Ferrari dive down the inside? Oh, both the Ferraris collided, and PSI is down there, and I think VFix might get overtaken by Shadow Sword if he's not careful. Shadow Sword does lose a position to someone there. I think Jin gets himself up into P3. HUP leads the way. Ethan up into P7, all the way from P12, is now losing positions, but is now gaining them as well. Tanishq has gone down into P13, and Racing Gupta and Shah have had a battle behind, and that's Racing Gupta just ahead of Shah up into P11. What a start from Racing Gupta. He was down, I think, P17 if I'm not wrong, and there you can see him making up so many places at once.
Yeah, just finishing one sector and a half, and he's already gained up 6 positions. So Racing Gupta on those softs, making that point, making his intentions very clear for the race.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can get PSI Legends here. PSI Legends is slightly under track. Is Racing Gupta going to go for it? No, he does not. Tanishq goes for a big lunge and almost collides with Shah. I think he's having a battle with Vicky as well. Tanishq goes into the back of him, and he's in the McLaren sandwich right now. Kavudi making up a lot of positions here, and I think further behind Basil has, I think he did make up a position at PSI Legends now. Oh, Ethan has had it. Does he have damage of some sorts? Just lost 2 positions there, Ethan. Yeah, he does. He's coming back in the pits. Ethan in the pits.
Expect PSI Legends to be also in the pits. No, I'm surprised he's carrying on. That he doesn't have any damage from that contact with the Ferraris coming together.
Yeah, and that's Basil overtaking Quick Killer. So Basil up into P6 from P12. What a great start from him from P12. And that unfortunate 5-place grid penalty is now really nothing. He has cut down on that. Up ahead, VFix is closing up to HUP. HUP, while he did get a great launch off the line, Gaurav, he is now under attack from VFix, our championship leader.
Yep, and VFix just wouldn't want to get that position. He knows he's a bit faster than HVP, but we also know HVP isn't going to make it any easy for him. Meanwhile, Vicky makes a move on Tanishq.
Yes, it does, and look at Tanishq just fighting to get that position back. Let's ride on board with Kavudi and let's see what these two do. Tanishq is on the inside, Vicky will have the outside line. Kavudi has a front row seat to everything which is going on ahead, and Shah and PSI Legends have exchanged position, and Vicky has lost a position to Tanishq there. Tanishq on the back of Shah. This is a 5-car battle, Gaurav.
Yup, and Kavudi goes down the inside. The McLaren probably side by side in formation, and Kavudi decides to yield that position for now to his teammate. Meanwhile, this battle is getting intense with PSI Legends getting back in the pits, so that is certainly losing him time. So he thought of better of probably getting that ring change and lose more time to them. Meanwhile,
look at that.
Are they 3 wide? No, they're 2 wide.
It's Kavudi. Vicky dived down the inside of Tanishq on the final corner, could not make it stick, and then actually helped out his teammate Kavudi into making that move. We'll have to go back to the fight at the front because VFix is in overtaking territory, Gaurav, and this time DRS has been enabled, so it should be an easy path for the Ferrari.
Yeah, we want to see how much does HVP defend, or does he decide to not fight and try following VFix down the trail.
There we go, got a beautiful shot. That is, VFix is using his DRS, and it is a simple pass, and he has overtaken HVP for the lead of the race. Further behind, I can see the Alfa Romeos in formation there, and let's see if there are any team orders here, because Basil and Epic Brothers, they seem to be very well matched on pace right now, but one of them will have to stay behind. As Vicky and Kavudi, I think Kavudi losing positions there. I think Shah made a move as well on Vicky, or Shah stayed ahead rather. Vicky has gotten past Shah. 3 laps in, we have seen so many overtakes already.
Well, SSN Noobshan in a Mercedes sandwich right now, so he's being pressured behind by SSN. Not sure if he's lost positions or is
Oh, I think
used the
Kabudi has
same.
damage here. I think
Yep,
Kabudi has damage
good.
if I'm not wrong. Because he's losing time,
Yep,
hand over
his
fist.
left side plate end plate is missing indeed, so he should be heading into the pits.
Racing Gupta making another move on Quick Killer, but here goes Vicky on the back of Shah. Vicky has round the outside. Let's see how brave Shah is on the brakes. He is brave, but Vicky goes dancing all the way around the outside, and that is him up into P11. Is the overtake done? I think just about.
Yeah, it is. Quite an action all round. So P1 to P6, there's a DRS train led by VPEX, so he would be looking to pull out soon from HVP, but it's the gap more or less staying just shuttling between a tenth or two up and down. So probably it's the strength of sectors for each driver that comes into picture. Meanwhile, HVP is still behind.
He's close, but not close enough, and I think VFX right now is doing just about enough to be in the lead of the race. It might be a long time before they pit, at least 6 or 7 laps before they start about pitting, because I think they would want to go on a set of mediums from here on, unless there is an untimely safety car. They would want not to touch those hard tires here.
Yep, hopefully we don't. It'll be nice to not have a safety car for the entire race weekend this week, or Division 1 and Division 2. Not sure on how many occasions that's happened, but yeah, something to be
That's very rare.
proud
That's
about
something
for
which is
Division 2
very rare.
drivers.
Spectating Shadow Sword right now, and what a brilliant race is he having. I think he started P3 if I'm not wrong, but he's in P4 right now, courtesy a great start from the people around him. But he's still holding his own, and it seems to be in rhythm. And let's see what he can do. I would be really happy if he gets a good result, maybe even a podium here.
Definitely a great driver, and I always enjoyed racing around and practice lobbies with him. Doesn't lack any pace whatsoever. Just has been unlucky a bit. A podium is long due, I believe, especially in IRL.
Is Shah getting overtaken by Azun? Is he going to get overtaken by Nishan as well? No, not just yet, but Nishan goes round the outside. Let's see who gets a better traction. Let's go on board with SSN here. Shah stays in front and up ahead. HVP has overtaken V6. We completely missed that, Gaurav. HVP is back in the lead.
Oh yeah, so many battles going on. Just you have to watch out for these top 4 runners or top 6 runners, and meanwhile you can add Racing Gupta because he's already taken off half a second from Basel, so he'd be soon eager to join the party along with the likes of Quick Killer as well, probably.
Absolutely, I think Tanishq in all that has he lost some positions there, because down in P11, I'm not sure where he was a few laps back, but here is Azun lining up a move on Shah, and Shah is sticking to the left of the track. Let's see where Azun goes. Azun goes to the right of the track. Shah keeps it in the middle for now, and Nishan rather tries to go around the outside of Azun. Nothing doing there, but what a midfield battle this is, and great, Gaurav, that all 19 drivers are still running.
Yep, and we've seen some contacts and damages here and there for the drivers, but yep, there is a long race to go, and seeing all of them with their cars and engines running, it's all good to see. It would have just been perfect had we had a 20th driver as well, and the entire full grid with all those 20 drivers.
Yeah. Absolutely, that would have been perfect, but this is Grade 2, Epic Brothers and Shadow Swords. Epic Brothers finally getting a move on, and he does not want. Look at that 6 car train. Is it 5? Yeah, it is.
Is Azun going to dive down the inside? Shah? No, Shah gives him just enough space. Probably more than just enough space, and holds the position. Meanwhile, Noobshan challenging Azun, and they're going side by side on those tricky technical section. Very easy.
Oh, what a lovely move that is from Noobshan. Round the outside. And that is a beautiful move from Nubshan up into P14. Shadow Sword losing almost a position to Basil, but Basil is coming back at him. Shadow Sword will have the outside, Basil will have the advantageous line going for the overtake, and both the Alfa Romeos. Oh, HEP has been overtaken by VFX. Yeah, that is Kavuri, and HEP has been overtaken by VFX, and all that battling is helping Jin also stay with the pair, and now the Alfa Romeos have arrived at the scene, Gaurav.
Yep, I think less of team orders and more of team strategy into picture. Probably putting pressure on all the drivers up front and gradually gaining as many positions as they can. Kavuri having really a hard time on those hard tires.
Right, let's go back to this. Nubshan and Shah switching positions. Let's stay ahead with this battle, because actually we might go on for a move on VFX. He's going around the outside. VFX cuts him off, and I think has just about kept the lead for now. Jin Kavuri has retired. That's in the pits. Zune and SSN. That's the Mercedes switching positions. So I don't think a lot of battling would have involved there. And 7 laps in, this is just non-stop for the race lead.
Nubshan and Shah going side by side again, and Nubshan makes the move stick this time around, and he has taken that position. Okay, it's the car of Kavuri that's come back on the track.
Says, let's see if HEP can make a move on VFX, or does he stay behind and wait for a move on the back straight. HEP goes down the inside on the Ferrari, and that is job done. He goes a little bit deep, and look at that VFX, brilliant line switch back, and takes the lead back just like that.
A battle to watch out for, and probably now is the time, the window would be approaching soon. Who blinks first? Probably, I'm guessing would they be on a one-stop or a two-stop?
I think this is a one-stop unless there is weather involved, and it seems to me that they are going to go until lap 9. Oh, Shadow Sword and Racing Gupta. Look at that. Racing Gupta almost overtook Shadow Sword, and let's see if Jin can get close to HEP. Is he going for an audacious dive bomb? I don't think he will, but Shadow Sword might just try to unsettle VFX there. And once again the Alfa Romeos. Look at Basil and Epic Brothers. This is, Gaurav, a 7-car battle for the race win and the podium.
Yeah, indeed, and this is where the strategy and the undercut comes into picture, because it's overtaking these drivers, making those moves is not going to be easy, especially in a DRS lane. And Shadow, I think, has lost all the grip on his soft tires. So,
and Epic Brothers blinks first. And Epic is in the pits.
Epic Brothers goes into the pits.
So he blinks first. Let's keep an eye out on which tires he goes on to, because this will tell us a lot. Is he going for the hards or thinking Nate gets a time penalty? Epic Brothers, Shadow Sword and Racing Gupta still battling. Racing Gupta down the inside. Epic Brothers is on the mediums. Shadow Sword comes back at Racing Gupta, and Racing Gupta might have just done enough to get P6.
Shadow should really be getting into the pits this lap, because I think those tires are a little more worn than the ones up front. Not sure how many laps he did on those tires during qualifying, but probably right from P4 to P6. You've seen him struggle a bit over the last couple of laps.
Right, Basil had a look up the inside of Jin.
Tanish on the back of Quick Killer and loses a bit and loses a position to Vicky as well.
Let's see if HEP is going for a move on VFX. He's trying to go for it, and Jin is trying to stick his nose. HEP and Jin both have collided, and HEP is round. Jin has lost positions as well, and Basil up into P2. Racing Gupta from the back of the field up into P3. And HEP loses a position to Quick Killer as well in the process. As to Tanishq as well.
Unfortunate contact. Probably HEP would be looking to head into the pits and just hope that the front runners don't think of boxing right now. Or at
Oh,
least
I think that is Shadow
undercut
Sword in
can.
the pits. You rightly called it. Oh, Shadow Sword!
And the shadow, he breaks his wing while entering the pit. Oh
Ooh,
my god, that is so much of a loss of time. He loses to Jin as well, who that that was not really a great sight to
that's a
see. And
virtual
we have a
safety car,
virtual
by the way, so it
safety
will help Jin because now he might not lose a position to Epic Brothers and all that. Epic Brothers and Azun, I think Epic Brothers is
car.
going
Jin
on.
gets a wing change as well.
Oh, so he had a contact with Shadow, with
Oh yeah,
HEP,
yep.
sorry,
With HVP, yep.
and yeah, it seems like he has damaged his wing. HEP continues on, so he's going on for at least one more lap. And so VSC now, let's see what Basil can do versus VFix. He cannot really overtake. He would hope and pray that the VSC ends just about now so he can get DRS and overtake VFX. It's not happening right now. Oh, SSN gets
Oh,
a drive
SSN
through.
drive-through breakthrough, and also does
And here
Sid
goes Basil.
Venkatesh.
Here goes Basil. Sid Venkatesh's drive through as well. Shadow Sword has a 3-second time penalty. Basil up the back of VFix. VFix has the inside line. And Tanishq and Quick Killer changing positions. That's Quick Killer up into P4. VFix stays in the lead. Does he pit now?
I think he should both these because I'm quite sure Basil would go into the pit. So
And Jin has gone
he
on the
thinks might.
hards. I just noticed that. Sorry for cutting you off there, Gaurav. But why did Jin go for the hards there? He's known to be someone who's very kind to his tires, and it's really interesting that he's gone on the hards. Does he pit VFX? Yes, he does. Basil pits as well. Racing Gupta is in as well. Tanishq should continue on, and I think HUP has pulled into the pits. Has he? No, he has not. He still continues on for one more lap. So he's determined to make the overcut work, and I'm not sure if that's the right call.
Yeah, and especially come out on the mediums, probably pretty much. And there's a yellow flag. Jin, is that the Alpha
Oh,
Tauri?
Jin has, and
Oh,
it's a safety
and there's a
car.
safety car.
Jin has crashed
Oh
out.
no. Oh, the hard tires, both Kavuri and Jin.
I can see
Not the
Jin's
best
car
of
there.
tires.
And Jin has once again failed to score points. That's 6 out of 7 races. That is so unfortunate for a driver who's so talented. And it's a safety car now. HEP back in the lead. I mean, he's still in the lead. Is in P2 right now. VFX has just gone on a pair of mediums, but this will help HEP. He's decision to stay out. Now he can pit for those medium tires. Would be interesting to see what the likes of Tanishq do, because if he goes
So
on
there's
to
a delta of
softs,
15 seconds between HVP and Jin, so probably it'll be very close, and HVP would be really happy right now, thanking his stars, despite he was running so good. And unfortunate for that incident, but he's all back up in the game.
absolutely had contact with Jin there. I want to see what Tanishq does here, because if he goes on to softs, his tires won't last until the end of the race. But he does not want to go on to the hards either, so this is a bit of a dilemma. And Tanishq is coming in. HGP should be coming in as well. So should be Wiki. Epic Brothers will continue on, I believe. But look at that undercut by Epic Brothers and all that. Epic Brothers was behind both the front runners, and he has jumped VFix and all that. So that was a great undercut by Epic Brothers. Let's see where the top 3 filter out. Tanishq has gone on those softs, so he is determined to make that stint work. HUP loses a place to Basil, Racing Gupta as well, and maybe even Wiki. Yes, he does. Or does he? To Wiki? No, he just comes out ahead of Wiki. HUP out in P7. I don't know why Sid Venkatesh did not fit there.
Oh, that's pretty interesting indeed. And why I'm just amazed at the tire choice for Tanishq. So, see, hoping for another safety car, because 16 laps on those softs is
It's a
asking
bit too
too
much to ask
much.
for. A couple of
And
those
looking at
laps.
the conditions, I don't see. I mean, I see fairly it's pretty sunny, and tire temperature, track temperatures would be also really high.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if they will work unless he's banking on another safety car, but I don't understand Sid Venkatesh's decision to stay out. He has a drive through anyway, Sid, and I'm not really sure why he did not pit, but maybe he'll pit this lap. Let's see what he does. Oh, racing Gupta and Tanishq. Almost having a confusion there.
Yep. Yeah, he might just probably be looking to put this lap through as well, so he has just one lesser lap on the set of mediums that I'm assuming he might go for.
Yeah, that's also very likely, but then he'll lose a lot of positions by doing that. And let's see, oh, Vicky gets a 5-second penalty. Did he overtake thinking Nade under yellow flags there?
A lot of confusion happening behind, people slowing down way too much. So SSN and Shah are also on the softs.
Oh, who's that in the pits? I think that's Sid Venkatesh is in the pits finally now. And yeah, SSN Shah and Sid
SSN
Venkatesh.
goes back into the pits as well.
And Shah continues on, so everyone on the mediums except Shah and Tanishq.
I think they probably would be playing at the odds of another safety car, I'm sure.
Yeah, the likes of
Not
SSN
sure what's
and
going through their heads right now.
right, so the likes of SSN and Sid Venkatesh will catch up to this
PSI
pack.
has left position.
Oh no, PSI. He had a great qualifying and a great start as well. I think he made contact with VFix as he was a bit ambitious into turn 1 and has lost positions because of it and has been struggling, but was finally a safety car would have given him the chance to fight back. Let's hope he can join back soon. And I think the safety car will be in at the end of this lap, so he has to make it very quick in terms of rejoining the session, and will be underway for the next half of the race. In a very sunny now. It was overcast to begin with, Gaurav, but now it is bright and sunny, and I don't think there's going to be any rain or any weather hitting the track anytime soon.
Yeah, I think the only weather that changed was the clouds moving away. So
Yeah, that was pretty much it. And well, we don't have the notification on the screen just yet, but I hope the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. And there you go. And we will be getting racing once again. Epic Brothers will lead the cars down into turn 1, and it will be interesting to see where he does decide to go full throttle and signify green flag conditions. Riding on board with Tanishq now, he will be the most dangerous on the safety car restart because he will have the best tires for these conditions right now. But as the laps go by, the medium tire will become the better race tire. We facing Epic Brothers going at a snail's pace there, and has Epic Brothers gone? Oh, somehow he got a 5 second for ignoring yellow flags, and he's still not gone. He's still not gone. He's waiting for it. And I think now he has gone.
probably VFix and Epic Brothers might have just come very close wheel to wheel, and that
Here goes Tanishq. Here goes Tanishq on the back of Basil. Expected dive bomb from him. Is he go for it? Yes, he does go for it. Tanishq down the inside of Basil. He cuts the corner, gets a 3 second time to go for it. And Tanishq
has lost his win in the process.
He has lost it. PSL Legends has finally joined back, but we have no time to wait to see Tanishq's stricken car there, and is losing more positions there. Racing Gupta up into P4. VFix has lost a lot of time to Epic Brothers. That was a brilliant restart by Epic Brothers.
Yep, great restart, and we'll go back to the steward's room to get his penalty removed.
Yeah, that was a bit. I don't think VFix actually overtook him, but somehow the game registered as such. And let's see if Basil can now put VFix under pressure. I don't think he will. There is no DRS, remember, for the first 2 laps of racing. I have lost all intervals on my screen, but Basil remains in P3. And Shadow Sword has lost a position to Quick Killer. So Shadow Sword was running so well in the top 4 before the safety car came out. But now he's languishing in P9 and he has a lot of work to do before he can see the top spot again. Coming back to this fight, HVP's lost a bit of touch. I think he never really made that ground to Racing Gupta under the safety car restart, but now that the tires are all warmed up, he will be catching up to the Haas pretty soon, and let's see what he can do. Our race winner from Spain, remember, Gaurav, HVP won the race in Spain, and yeah, he got a podium as well last time around in Mexico.
Yep. And I see all the cars are fairly a second away from each other, more or less. I think there was something sketchy around the safety car restarts, what happened, so not very sure.
I think Shadow has been caught out a little bit at the safety car restart. He lost a position to Quick Killer, has lost one to URL Ethan as well now. And look at him losing his car and almost running into the, Shah almost running into the back of him, but what's happening up ahead? Shah overtakes Shadow Sword and URL Ethan has gone down the side of Quick Killer. They're going to go side by side. Shah gets better traction out of the corner, and up ahead it is Ethan and Quick Killer going side by side. Quick Killer has the inside line and he might just about have the corner. Cuts the last bit of the track. So does Shadow Sword. I think it was Shah who cut that, but I think the game penalties or the game tracks limits are such that you can get away with that on that corner. Quick Killer diving down the inside of the tight left-hander. Stays behind for now. Look at Shah just pushing Quick Killer through that section now.
Those soft tires coming, giving him all the grip that he needs right now.
Yeah, especially in these twisty, turny and technical slow corner section of Sector 3. And look at Shah, that's a beautiful purchase out of the final corner, and he is going to go down the inside of Quick Killer. It should be an easy move. They come too much close for comfort there, but Shah does make the move stick. And that's up into P9 for Shah. VFX not able to close up to Epic Brothers.
While Basil has closed up to him.
Yes, Basil has remained within his DRS. So, Sector 3 yellow flag. Is that Sid Venkatesh or is it Tanishq who's going slow? I think that is probably Tanishq who's going slow.
Yep.
And he has a long race ahead of us. Ethan now get ahead of Thinking Nade. Ethan is looking very quick. And I think he will be overtaking Thinking Nade, Shadow Sword, and what was happening there? I'm not sure. Now to go back to this battle, Ethan on quick Thinking Nade, and
he might on the slightest of contact there between both of them. Oh, finally Thinking Nade decided to yield into that. VFX might just come into the DRS of his brothers. Would he? I mean, there's constant fluctuation of a tenth or two up and down between the two. Just a tenth away on this occasion.
The VFX desperately needs to be within that DRS so that he can defend against Basil, because Basil is looking very close right now, and while he has not made an overtake streak or has not really gone for the move down into turn 1, but on the back straight where it's a very long straight to use DRS and get advantage from it, in the braking zone of turn 10, Basil could really challenge VFX for P2. VFX now like within DRS, just about, it's so touch and go there. VFX might have done just about enough. There you go, across the line. I'm not sure if he got it. We'll see soon enough.
And he has.
No, I don't think he has. His rear wing is not open, but Basil's rear wing is open, so Basil will catch up once again. And let's see if Shah can make a move on Thinking Nade. Here goes Shah on the right of Thinking Nade. Can Shadow Sword follow through as well?
Oh, we're going side by side. And the yellow flag again. Oh, probably probably the Aston Martin of Sid this time.
Yes, there's this
Oh, this
wheel
red
banging,
contact.
but Shadow Sword is just about not able to get through. But he will probably on the start finish straight. We're thinking Nate will have DRS on Shah.
Meanwhile, the top three are now in a DRS train. Oh, this guy, Shadow Sword just pushes Thinking Nate, and they are in a battle of their own.
Here's Noobshan
Red
riding
light
on board
flashing
with
for
him.
Thinking Nate.
Shadow makes the move stick. Can Noobshan take advantage of this? He is a very opportunistic driver. Shadow Sword has made his way through. Thinking Nate has used a lot of battery while defending, but it has not really helped him so far. Thinking Nate!
Oh, and he loses. I think there's probably contact between the two. Got pushed. He pushed his plan into the back of Shadow Sword there.
And PSI Legends getting a time penalty and all that. Let's go back to the top two.
And Basil as well in the process.
Oh, Basil has a penalty as well. So that brings the likes of Racing Gupta and HUP in the equation. VFix might go for a move here on Epic Brothers. There you go, Ferrari pulling out to the left, and VFix makes the move stick. That's easy for him. Is up into P1 now, and let's see what Basil can do.
Yep, the Alfa Romeos now need to work in tandem again because VFix is more or less the only Ferrari there and more than capable enough of keeping these two drivers behind.
Yeah, the two Williams are battling as well as Noobshan has caught up to Shadow. Noobshan overtook, Shah re-overtook Azul. Oh, Tanish has retired. That is
in the pits probably.
No, it's not. It's on the main straight.
Oh, there's a safety car yet again.
It's another safety car. And Ethan straight into the pits.
They probably got a little throttle greedy at that exit and just lost his car. So probably
that is the record
stands.
Caesar was talking about. That is 5 or maybe 6 DNFs in a row for Tanish. He has once again failed to take the checkered flag. And what is happening behind? A flurry of cars into the pits. I want to see what the top guys do, but I'm sure it's a no-brainer here. Everyone has to pit for a set of soft tires if they have fresh ones ready from Collie.
Yep. So if Tanish could have kept his head there in the but he is the cause of the safety car, so probably his soft strategy couldn't have worked out ever.
Yeah,
but
he
here,
did get a good
I think
restart.
probably Shah got in a good position. I think he was way down the grid and he's caught up so many positions on those fresh softs.
Absolutely.
And now he has another set of softs. So look, what's the distance from the leaders?
See, that's the thing, because there were not a lot of
from the leaders.
Yeah, so VFix and Epic Brothers
and coming down
are going to lose a lot of positions when they pit, or if they pit. I have a feeling someone from the top 6 might stay out and just go on, because they are going to lose a lot of positions if they pit for fresh softs, and that will give chance to a lot of other drivers to win this race.
Yeah, the timing of the safety car probably didn't work out in the favor of those leaders, because they might just be coming close to the start finish when the safety car message might have come up. Otherwise, I was in the assumption that the safety car would follow the lead, the train would follow the next lap, but it started already. So now I think it's probably
Let's see what
come
VFix
to the
does.
bottom of the grid.
VFix stays out, yeah, that is expected. VFix stays out. There's Alfa Romeo which goes in. Is that Basil? It is Basil into the pits.
Yep.
Racing Gupta stays out, HUP stays out, Vicky stays out as well. So just one of the top 6 blinking, and that is Basil, and let's see where he comes out. He's yet to make his pit stop, he'll be dead last.
Now he also has a pack of all soft runners right ahead of him, so
yeah, so I think staying out might be the right decision here, because there was not enough gap.
Yeah, but Ethan looks really poised to me to take up a lot of positions, because he's going to be against those 7-8 lap, 10 lap old medium tires. So and we know the pace difference that these two tires have, and especially at the start of the safety car restart, the first few sectors or first couple of laps, let's say, he really needs to get some 2 or 3 positions, at least get ahead of Vicky and HVP, though they are not going to make it easy for him. And
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of battling, and meanwhile, just Shadow, all of them scrambling for positions. So, Ethan, being the lead of the soft runners, can get himself engaged, involved with these medium runners, and get a car or two between him and the other soft runners.
Yeah, I think that would be ideal for Ethan to at least get 1 or 2 cars between himself and the other soft runners. But at the same time, I think the likes of VFS and Epic Brothers and even Racing Gupta for that matter have good protection in HVP and Vicky, because if they can hold off Ethan for at least 2 laps, 3 laps, then slowly but surely the advantage will wear off of the fresh starts. But here we go, the safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap, so it will be an 8-lap sprint to the checkered flag. I hope there are no more safety cars, and this is going to be really exciting and hectic end to the US Grand Prix. Right, so last time it was Epic Brothers who had really got a good smart restart and jumped VFX. I say jumped, but he basically extended his lead. This time it is VFX's turn, and let's see what he does, riding on board with HUP, and let's see and guess where VFX decides to finally plant.
Should be planting at this exit now, or is he going to
Maybe
take
on the final
exit
corner
to
and
the last corner and go? Looks like it, yep. VFX taking all the time.
He's gone, and Racing Gupta will just get him off the line. Look at Racing Gupta, I think he's already got it, but I think he had to give the position back because of yellow flags. Yeah. And does anyone go for a dive bomb?
Oh, there's
Ethan
contact
has
between Epic Brothers and Racing Gupta, and Ethan gets one position on Vicky, so those softs giving him the grip he needs. So he would really be eager to make the move on HVP probably, and the next hairpin that comes at the end of this sector.
Absolutely, and look at the restart from VFX. It's almost carbon copy. 1.5 seconds the gap. And look at Ethan now on the back of HVP. Does he wait around? Does he go for a dive bomb? I think he will go for a dive bomb, Max Verstappen style, and Ethan has made it stick.
Yep, a very controlled dive from him. And Ethan already up in those by 2 positions, so now he has a mission ahead of him. And this would be a great drive from him, after the 5-place grid presently, starting from P12, having a hard time initially as well.
Yeah, it's been a very topsy-turvy race for Ethan. He goes for another dive bomb on Racing Gupta and made it strike. What a move from Ethan! He's using his tires to full effect. Has got 3 places, if I'm not wrong, off the restart, and he is really on a mission.
Yeah, and there's a yellow flag somewhere.
Thinking nade.
Thinking
nade.
Oh, that's the double right-hander. Easy to lose grip there. Meanwhile, Epic needs to really get into the DRS of VFX, otherwise Ethan is just hot on his heels right now.
Here goes Azun for a dive around the inside of Vicky, and Azun might just have it. Quick Killer will follow through as well, does he? Yes, he does. Thinking Nate has retired. That's in the pits. And Azun has made his way through, and HUP is losing so much time. Look at that. How is HUP so far behind? Does he have damage, I wonder?
Does he?
But no time to wait for that, as URL Ethan is on the back of Epic Brothers, and in no time Ethan would be past the Alfa Romeo and then will set Ferrari in his sights. A really terrible angle. Come on, Codemasters. And here goes Ethan. He's using his battery and he has to make his move stick. He cannot stay behind for long, but he does stay behind. Shah diving it down the inside of Racing Gupta, and Shah making it 6. So the soft runners, Gaurav, are absolutely flying right now.
Yep, they are on a charge, and yep, when Ethan, Shah, and Shadow back together. So, but Ethan still has that 1 second cushion behind him, so he would. And the yellow flag
Oh,
again. There's a
Vicky!
McLaren of
Vicky, that's
Vicky.
Vicky.
That's fine.
PSI and Sid Venkatesh are fighting, but Shadow Sword made his way past Racing Gupta as well. So in these initial few laps, softs are just so much faster. Is Ethan going for a move? I don't think he's close enough to go for a dive, so he'll have to stay behind. And Shadow Sword and Shah are fighting for position. Shadow Sword rammed the outside of Shah. I think he might have just made it stick. Yes, he has. Vicky has retired for the session. That's not in the pit lane. It
Oh,
could be
that's a
another safety
virtual
car.
safety
It's a
car.
virtual safety car. Thank goodness for that. But it's the
Oh,
same
oh.
place where Tanish retired, Gaurav. Exit of
Yeah,
the final
yeah.
corner.
It's a tricky exit, and especially getting throttle greedy can really be race ending for you, as we saw with both Vicky and Tanish.
Absolutely. So this is a VSC and I think it should be cleared pretty soon. We can go racing again. Let's hope no one gets a time penalty or a drive-through rather because of it. During the end, we have seen it multiple times, people being caught out by VSCs, and it's still not ending just yet, but Ethan is sticking to the back of Epic Brothers. And what a finale we have on our hands. Vfix is still in the driving seat. He is in the lead of the race. He does not have any time penalties, which means he will finish on the top step of the podium as it stands. DRS has been enabled, and look at that! Ethan just straight
Ethan
away. He's
making
made
the
his move.
most of it.
What a move from Ethan.
Wow.
That's him up into P2. Now, if he can get VFix, I want to see if Ethan can actually get a 3 second gap to VFix. Because DRS has been enabled and Ethan will have DRS on the back straight as well as this upcoming main straight.
Looking at the way things are right now, I think he would. He would.
Here goes Basil on a Zoon, and Basil down the inside in the Alfa Romeo while his teammate is defending, but his other teammate in the other Alfa Romeo, Basil, has moved himself up into P. Look at Ethan, just 2.5 tenths off from VFX. He's literally pushing VFX through the S's here.
Wow. I mean, it's just a great. It's so difficult. It's so hard to figure out what's going to happen to by the end of the race. As Shadow has also finally. He started P3. He's back up in P4, and see how those penalties eventually add up. But he'll be
Here
happy
goes
with that
Ethan.
recovery that
He
he's
has the inside line, and VFX is going to squeeze him as much as he can, but he has to yield. And he finally makes his way through. Epic Brothers and Shadow Sword are fighting behind. Let's see what that happens. Shadow Sword also makes his way through. Shadow Sword up into P4.
Epic Brothers with his red light flashing, so certainly has used up all the battery he had to defend against Ethan. Now he might just have to go into conservation mode for a couple of laps before. Otherwise, might just be very fit. Even worse for him.
Now let's see if VFX can stick along with Ethan. VFX is still sticking with him, so he will have DRS on the main straight, and as long as he keeps getting DRS for the next 1 or 2 laps, he will be fine. You know, he has just 3 laps to go after this, and Ethan's advantage, if he's not able to break that at that toe which VFX is getting, it will be very
So
hard.
they were 6 tenths as they entered the final corner, and as they entered the turn 1, there was just 7 tenths gap. So despite DRS, Ethan just picked up a second, and look how he's just pulling that gap away, especially in the second sector. Those you can corners that they are approaching, you definitely those softs, as you can see, can give you a higher amount of grip. But VFix there has been very determined to stay within the DRS.
I think no, he has not. I don't think he has.
No.
Ethan has just about enough to not be within DRS. I think Shadow Sword might have a move lined up on VFX. He's a sitting duck on the main straight, on the back straight rather. And here goes Shadow Sword. What a move that is. Basil has
yellow
retired.
flag, there is contact, and
Basil, Racing Gupta, safety car.
Oh.
That just saves VFX's bacon there, because now I doubt there'll be enough laps for the likes of Ethan and Shadow to make up the gap they need in terms of time. to get that P1. So VFX might still win this race as the third safety car. And I think it was Bassett and Racing Gupta who came together on the back straight.
Yep, I think those wheels came together and the cars were pointing perpendicular to the track direction. So definitely there was wheel rubbing indeed. But I mean, Ethan has the advantage here of getting a great restart and has a chance to probably by the end of the first sector make at least 8 or 9 tenths of VFX if he can get that gap from
but
a
there'll be
great
just
safety
2
car
laps.
restart.
I think the safety car might be in at the end of this lap.
Yep.
And that means there'll be just 2 laps. So if Ethan has an advantage now, for VFX it is crucial to get a good restart, because if he does not jump Shadow Sword, he might just be hindered. Sid Venkatesh and Nishan, by the way, have pitted for another set of softs. HUB has continued on a set of mediums, along with Epic Brothers and VFX, who are also on the mediums. And
Yep.
third
No
safety
point
car, so
pitting
one safety
now
car too
because
many.
now third safety car indeed. And we've got like 7 DNFs in this race.
Yeah, so everyone who finishes now will score points.
Yep, indeed. So point finish for everyone.
So
now this Azun, Quick Killer, VFix, and Sid, the 4 drivers without any penalties.
Yeah, so
and
expect Azun to also pick up a lot of places because of this, as always, and Sid Venkatesh as well, along with Quick Killer. Safety car is in this lap. The pack has bunched up. No one has been lapped. That is brilliant. And let's see what Ethaniel can do here. This is going to be very, very tense. Couple of laps from him. He has shown that he has the pace to stretch his lead by 1.5 seconds per lap, but this time he will have to do it the hard way, and VFX will be hoping he can get.
Did Shadow also make a move on VFX?
Yes, he did, down the inside into turn 10.
Oh yeah,
that's why, and that is concerning
yeah,
VFX because there's a car now ahead of him, and which is why VFX will be all the more concerned. He might get Shadow, but it will be interesting to see if he can get Ethan. So here we go. Ethan has not gone just yet, but it would be in his best interest to get as much track available for green flag racing as he can. I think now he might just go. He's gone now, and here is VFX. VFX is not close enough at all from Shadow. That means Ethan will lead comfortably into turn 1, and so will Shadow in P2. Oh, Shah!
Oh, and Shah retires of the session. Oh no, I think got a little on those cold tires. He might have just gone a little fraction early on the throttle at the exit of turn 1. Yeah, that is the way I see the car on the map. I think that would be the case.
Yeah, the exit of turn 1, that's catching out. Has caught out Sid Venkatesh as well in qualifying.
Rushan running into the back of stage.
And he might go for a dive down the inside. No, he does not. Stays behind. PSL Legend is being caught up, but now I don't think there's enough lap. 1.5 laps to go. I don't think that's enough for Ethan to get his race win. Let's see if VFX what he can do. Shadow Sword on the back of Ethan and stays ahead for now. And Noobsan trying an alternate line. Sid Venkat is trying to dive down the inside. Nishan might make a move round the outside of Sid Venkatesh in this Williams. Can he do that? No, he has to stay behind for now. VFX is in 1.2 seconds of Ethan, and that is a tall order for Ethan to follow.
So now let's make it 1.4 now, Ethan, Malam. This is going to be interesting because he needs to just push. Shadow would also be, both these drivers would just be pushing each other to create that gap, especially from VFX, and then Azun is also there in the chase.
Yeah, 1.4 is the gap. Make that 1.3, so it's not coming down, and VFix might still have it by the end of the race. There is still two sectors to go, so not all is lost. But as it stands, it will be VFix who wins this. I want to see how many places Azun can get, but not a lot. Oh, this is yellow flag. Is that Noobshan? Yes, it is. At the exit of the SS, Noobshan losing his car, and let's hope he doesn't.
Azun is also he's just half a tenth away from a podium. 25 minutes that he is within podium sights now. And V6 really pushing hard. You can see him locking up, so he's trying to maximize whatever time he can.
Azun is going to get the provisional podium here.
Yellow flag, Noobshan
That's
again.
Noobshan again. And let's see what Ethan can do here. Is not VFix is now within 2 seconds, but it's not going to be enough, I believe, for Ethan. So Ethan will finish on the podium, but it will be VFix who takes the race win. Ethan across the line in just about a few milliseconds, and he will take the checkered flag. Shadow Sword has a penalty. VFX will win with Ethan in P2. Azun does get the podium. Look at that, by 1/10 over Shadow Sword. Quick killer into P5, HUP into P6. Sid Venkatesh finally gets his redemption from last night. Finishes P7. Epic Brothers, what a drive he had, and that's unlucky for him down in P8. SSN in P9. PSI Legends after a great start finishing P10. And Noobshan is without a front wing. Will be the last of the people to cross the finish line into P11 there. Just 11 finishers. And Shah might get a point here because he did finish more than 90% of the race. But what a hectic race that was.
And whoa.
He's just having fun at this point.
Yeah.
Noobshan
Just enjoying the sights of USA, Texas.
he's doing some time. Yeah, as I said, sightseeing. And yeah, there you go, Noobshan. No, you'll have to wait. But as Caesar said, VFX is now holding the record for the most points, Gaurav, in IRL history. More than 1200 points. And he also got his 38th podium as well as 14th win of his IRL career. Those numbers are just absolutely monstrous.
Yeah, it shows how he just even having a dismal qualifying session, just getting everything for that final lap, for final hot lap during qualifying, and putting his car on pole. This shows the pace that he has. Meanwhile, let me just...
Yeah, let's get the top 3 in. That is VFX, Ethan and Azun. Right, so VFX does extend his championship advantage over Sumer and Hushraf, both of whom were not in attendance tonight, and that will be a big advantage. I think he had 20 points in the lead at the top, so that will increase by a further 24 points and 25 points rather, so that will be a huge margin for others to claw back on. But VFX and Ethan and Azun on the podium and the rest of the field. Let's have a look at the non-finishers. Shah DNF'd on the last lap, with Racing Gupta and Basil DNFing on lap 25, I believe, with Vicky, Thinking Nade, Tanish B, Kiran, Jin and Kavodi also failing to finish the race. But all in all, that is the 7th round of Indian Racing League Season 6. We'll have a quick chat with our podium getters and then we'll call it a night.
Okay, Azun.
Right, Azun is in. Yeah, no problem, Azun. You've got all the time in the world. Let's quickly check if Ethan and VFix are also joining.
I did send invites to them. Let me do it again. Which shows both of them have joined. Yet to see them.
Alright, VFX is here. Ethan, let's wait for him, but no problem. We can start with Azun probably. Azun, I hope you have ensured. Alright, we'll give you a minute to do that and then we'll quickly start with Q&A. Ethan is here as well. Alright, Azun, so let us know once you're set. And
Yeah, I think it's run, yeah.
right, so someone who is still watching, please let us know if you can hear Azun on the stream. And Gaurav, why don't you start us off? Gaurav, why don't you start us off with the questions for Azun this time?
Azun, great race. I mean, you just showed us again that qualifying you can retire and put in a great show. Why don't you just walk us through your race and especially how hectic was the race overall?
I mean, it was quite a hectic race. I don't think I deserved that. I got really lucky with the safety car and not having any penalties. But there were definitely guys faster than me who should have probably got that podium, but got unlucky because of the safety car. But otherwise, yeah, it was a hectic race in the midfield. People trying ambitious moves and defending and just keeping it behind other cars. But yeah, it was quite hectic.
Yeah, any intense battles that you had?
I had a fun one with Noopshan when we were a bit behind everyone else, but other than that, like, it was just fighting with everyone for track position.
Great race. I think you kept your head straight on the track. So congratulations on that podium again.
Thank you.
Right place at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. As Gaurav said, keeping your nose clean, unlike Shadow, and getting that podium once again. Azun, great drive from the back of the field. We'll move on to Ethan. Ethan, are you here?
Hello, yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hope your party settings are all okay, so we can hear you on the stream as well. Ethan, how much do you hate safety cars right now? That's my only question.
I think a lot, because I could have got a win here, but with the SC gathering up the back and stuff, I think VFix was able to keep that 3-second gap. So yeah, I kind of messed up my race towards the end, but I'm pretty happy with how the race went since Quick Kill had given me damage on lap 1 and I was able to come back from that. So yeah, I think I did pretty well.
Alright, and just walk us through what happened in qualifying as well, Ethan. I believe you got a 5-place grid penalty.
Yeah, so you had a Basil Johan. He was not on a hot lap and I don't know what happened, but he just pushed me off track and he went. So we both got a 5-second grid penalty and I was kind of annoyed with that. And I didn't go for other push laps because I knew as it is I'm going to start outside the top 10 and on softs. So I didn't bother to, go for another lap. So yeah, that's what happened in quali. It kind of got messed up.
Right, but you still made it count where the points are actually awarded and almost got a race win. So that was some really good pace shown from you, Ethan. And good luck for the next 4 races in the season. Gaurav, any questions for our Alpha Tauri driver?
Yeah, just a follow-up question on that qualifying. On that same lap, it looked like you and Noopshan were like racing during a qualifying session. So what was going on there? Did you want to go on a lap ahead of him, or what was that?
Not really. I mean, we were just fooling around a bit, but yeah, we both weren't on a hot lap, and he had no front wing. I was trying to get past him, but he wasn't letting me through by just cutting off from one side of the track to the other. So I just thought I'll stay back instead of risking it. But then Basil came and then screwed it all up.
But anyway, I think a lot of incidents.
But yeah,
a lot of incidents, lap one incidents, but I think great comeback from you. You really enjoyed your drive. Sorry, Madhav, go on.
Yeah, very. I think just to summarize, very strong race from you, Ethan, and maybe you can teach your teammate or two think about finishing races. But yeah, with that being said, let's go to our race winner for once again VFX. Just take us through your qualifying and race and your initial battles with HUP and Epic. But I think HUP got you off the line, but you managed the gap, and I think you exchanged the lead also a few times before it was finally time to pit for the mediums.
Yeah, I mean qualifying was very frustrating. I'd say is the word, because I knew from like the first few runs that I did have a couple of tenths over the grid. It's a luxury to have, but then I kept invalidating it all the way until my final run, and a lot of things happened on that final run as well. So I had to go for a very, very safe lap, like an option doing some weird stuff. That's how I'll describe it on my out lap. And then on my hot lap, Jin, like he spun like 5 meters in front of me on in sector 1, so I almost invalidated it there. But yeah, just getting pole and then going off the start. HPP got a better start than me, but I know the way the track was, I knew he'd overshoot the corner, but unfortunately something happened with my teammate PSI at the start, so he ended up hitting me. Luckily no sidepod damage there. And after that, yeah, I was just really more the overtakes on him, but just to figure out whether he was running more or less wings than me. If I was gaining on him on the straights without using ERS, then I could figure these things out. Just playing the long game till there because my soft pace was not the best. And then medium tires, I think there's a virtual safety car that came out right after I pit. A safety car that came out when I just taken the lead, and then the last safety car. So I feel like the safety cars are very against me today, because as soon as I crossed the last corner, I think the safety car that allowed everyone from Ethan behind to pit for softs, that came out there. So luckily, shout out to URL Basil for causing that last safety car. Yeah, and I mean,
Gaurav,
most
anything?
points in IRL history, that's something.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great feat. Gaurav, anything you would like to ask?
No questions, but congratulations in order. Not just most points, but most podiums as well. So great pace. Always fun to watch you drive. So best of luck for the rest of the season, because you missed your two of the most hot title contenders. So you might just
Yeah, I
lead
mean,
easy for
the
this
racing never disappoints in IRL, and by racing I mean Burnt Maylander never fails to show up. Like, literally, can you stop showing up Burnt Maylander for a bit?
Yeah, the thing is, he's not
He
getting
did-
enough
he
track
did
action
yesterday,
in
last
D2.
match.
Yeah, so that's why he wants some more footage in D1. But yeah, nonetheless, very well managed VFX. And yes, the safety car probably did help you at the end, maybe, but you still produced when it mattered. And yeah, 40 plus points in the championship, that's a good cushion to have with 4 races to go. Yeah, so with that being said, let's, I think, probably call it a night. It's been a long day and stream. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you once again, Gaurav, for sticking around the comms box. Azun, VFX, Ethan, any shout outs before we end?
Best fans.
Sandbagging heaven, go watch the T2 race happening.
It's LOS
in...
noob.
Oh yeah, LOS.
Right, you can
Go watch
discuss
the
your
race
branding
happening
later in
10
terms of what you want to call
minutes.
it, but yeah, there is another race going on in the next 15 minutes or so. So if you're interested, do check that out. But this is You Can Beat Me signing off. We'll see you tomorrow for the reserve division on the same track. So do tune in for that as well if you want. Otherwise, we have the next round of the championship in F1 in Bahrain next Friday and Saturday. So check that one out. If you like this video, press the like button. If you have not subscribed yet, do that, all the good stuff. With that being said, this is You Can Beat Me signing off. Good night and goodbye.
Stay safe everyone, karma.